Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, fans. You know the NFL offseason is always buzzing, and this year it's no different. The Washington Commanders are in a very interesting spot right now, especially with some key questions hanging over their roster, particularly at the wide receiver position. And one of the biggest stories that started to gain traction recently is the possible trade involving DJ Moore, a move that could reshape the team's offensive outlook and even influence their chances for a deep playoff run in 2025. But let's rewind a bit and set the stage properly. The Commanders, as we all know, have been trying to build around their young quarterback, Jayden Daniels. After his impressive rookie year, expectations are sky high. Daniels showed flashes of brilliance, and with the right weapons around him, there's a real shot at making some noise in the NFC. But one of the issues they're facing, one that's been quite obvious, relates to their wide receiver core. Terry McLaurin, the unquestioned WR1, has been a cornerstone of the team for years. He's been reliable, a true leader on and off the field. But here's the catch. McLaurin is entering the final year of his contract, and there's talk that he might hold out, especially if negotiations don't go as planned. Now, imagine the scenario if McLaurin does choose to sit out, or if the team can't get an extension done in time. Suddenly, the Commanders' passing game is looking a lot thinner, and that's where the potential trade for DJ Moore comes into focus. This isn't some fantasy or just speculative talk. It's a real possibility that's gaining momentum. The Chicago Bears, who drafted Colston Loveland with their 10th overall pick and Luther Burden at 41st, have made it clear that they're open to trading Moore. Why? Because despite giving him a contract extension, they've invested heavily in their wide receiver core, including drafting Rome Odunze last year at 9th overall. The Bears' strategy seems to be about building for the future, and with the depth they've added in the draft, it's understandable they might be willing to part ways with Moore, especially if they can get value in return. And that's precisely what makes this trade scenario so intriguing. Reports suggest that the Bears would be looking for a second-round pick in 2027 and a sixth-round pick in 2026. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Those aren't blockbuster assets, but in NFL trade terms, especially considering Moore's talent and contract status, they're quite reasonable. The Commanders could see this as a golden opportunity. Moore, who is under contract until 2028 with an option for 2030, would give them a fresh, dynamic weapon for Jayden Daniels. Think about it. A receiver with Moore's ability, his route running, his speed, and his hands. This addition could elevate the entire passing game, making the offense much more versatile and dangerous. And let's not forget, this move could also serve as a strategic insurance policy. If McLaurin continues to hold out, or if there's any friction, the Commanders would have Moore ready to step in as the WR1, ensuring their offensive production doesn't drop off a cliff. But what about the bigger picture? Well, the NFL is all about winning now, especially with the current roster and the promising talent at quarterback. Adding Moore isn't just about patching a hole, it's about upgrading the team's offensive firepower and increasing their odds to compete for a Super Bowl. The NFC East is fiercely competitive, with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys always lurking, but if the Commanders can make a savvy move like this, it could give them a significant edge. And here's an interesting point. With Moore on board, the Commanders could also consider trading McLaurin if the situation doesn't improve with negotiations or if the team's direction changes. Right now, they have Deebo Samuel as their WR1, with Noah Brown as WR2. That's not exactly a Super Bowl-ready receiving core, and adding Moore would instantly boost their chances. It's about creating a balanced, dangerous attack that keeps defenses honest, especially with a quarterback like Daniels who thrives when he has multiple options and can spread the ball effectively. Now, let's talk about the implications. With Moore, the Commanders could have a formidable duo of top-tier receivers, with McLaurin possibly staying if the contract issues are sorted out. This kind of versatility would be a game changer. Moore's presence would allow the team to diversify their offensive schemes, put more pressure on defenses, and open up the field for Daniels to exploit. It's all about maximizing their strengths and minimizing their weaknesses. Another aspect that can't be ignored is how this move could influence their Super Bowl odds. FanDuel currently has the Commanders with plus 2,100 odds to win the Lombardi Trophy in 2025. That's not frontrunner territory, but it's respectable. If they manage to add more and keep McLaurin, those odds could improve significantly. Jumping past teams like the Rams and Lions, who sit at plus 1,900 and plus 1,000 respectively, becomes a real possibility. It's all about adding talent and depth, and Moore would be a huge step in that direction. Moreover, considering how well Jaden Daniels performed in his first year, the team's outlook looks promising. His development, combined with a more potent receiving core, could propel the Commanders into the playoffs more comfortably. FanDuel has them at minus 130 odds to make the postseason, which is pretty decent. If they can get the right pieces, especially at receiver, they might even challenge for a division title or a deep playoff run. Now I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because, honestly, this potential DJ Moore trade isn't just about adding a talented receiver. It's about the strategic shift that can elevate the entire franchise. It signals that the Commanders are serious about competing now, not just developing young players but making bold moves to push for the ultimate goal, another Super Bowl appearance. And looking at the bigger NFL landscape, the NFC is wide open this year. Teams like the 49ers, Eagles, and Cowboys are formidable, but the Commanders have a window here. They have a young quarterback with immense potential, a solid coaching staff, and now, possibly, the chance to bring in a game-changing receiver like Moore. If they manage to keep McLaurin, that duo could become one of the most dangerous in the league. Imagine defenses trying to account for both, with Daniels able to throw with confidence to either one. It's an offensive nightmare for opponents and a dream scenario for fans. But of course, nothing is official yet. The trade discussions are still in the early stages, and the Bears aren't exactly rushing to deal Moore right now. They might be holding out for more, or they could be waiting for the right moment. The Commanders, on the other hand, need to be ready to act quickly if the opportunity arises. The NFL offseason is a fluid situation, full of surprises, and this could be one of the biggest. So, what does this all mean for the Commanders moving forward? Well, if they manage to land DJ Moore, it would send a clear message to the entire league that they're serious about contending. It would give Daniels a premier weapon, potentially making him a top-tier quarterback in the league. And most importantly, it would significantly boost their chances to reach the Super Bowl. Fans, it's an exciting time to be a Commanders supporter. The team is at a crossroads, and bold moves like this could define their future for years to come. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.